Hello and welcome back, guys, to another episode of
Bulaga!
So before we start, guys, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Subscribe and click on the bell button, so if in case I upload a new video, you're the first one to know. If you know anyone who is undergoing through the same process and needs more clarification, or they want to know what's going to happen next, make sure to share this video to them. If you haven't watched my previous videos, I'll link the videos down below. But yeah, I'll be answering 5 questions for you. The first one is from Elaine Ramos. So she's asking how many pre-trials I went to. The answer is just 1 pre-trial. And that 1 pre-trial, all that we did was to submit all the evidences or documents that's needed for the next hearing, which is the trial. Hopefully that answered your question. It's very straight and on point. Yeah. Second question is from Irene Gallas. She asked how many months I waited before the first hearing. Now, to answer the question as clear as I can, there is no proper answer to that, because the answer depends on how busy the court's schedule is. So mine was because I went to the Caloocan City North Court. They are quite busy, and before you can schedule a hearing, both the fiscal and the judge has to be there. So if one or the other is missing, then they have to reschedule the hearing. It was pretty busy, so I usually waited 3 or 4 months in between, sometimes 5 or 6. Again, it depends on how busy the court is. So yeah, there's no proper answer to that, except for depends on the court's schedule. The third question is from Mr. Morty Howard, asking how to start the process, because he lives in the US, and I'm thinking that this is his girlfriend who lives in Manila but is not married anymore, but technically is still married on paper. And I'm really sorry that she's crying out of frustration. It is quite frustrating. I went through it, trust me. So I can, I feel for her. But the first thing that you have to do, Mr. Howard, is that you have to contact a proper lawyer. So your friend can talk to that lawyer. What they're gonna do is they're gonna talk to her about why the marriage fell apart. It has everything, like from the start, how they met, everything. Like, it will be painful for her, but she has to go through it so that the lawyer can know which grounds of annulment they have to process. So mine was a psychological incapacity, obviously for both of us, because we were both young, like my ex and I, when we got married. So yeah, just go and talk to a lawyer, have everything started, and of course start paying all the bills. Once they start paying all the bills, they can go and file the annulment in the court, and yeah, the process starts there. If you need assistance, my lawyer's details is in the description box below. Yeah, if you need more assistance, I don't know how I can help you, but just message me. Fourth question is from Dexy Shane Labrador, which basically says that she's already separated from her husband for 5 years, and they both have their own new partners now, and her husband contacted her and wants an annulment. Let me just double check again. She said that yeah, she wants to know if she can also go back to the abroad, sorry, while the annulment hasn't been granted. So the answer to that question, as I've mentioned on the third question, is that you need to contact a lawyer, since it seems that, you know, you've already moved on from your lives. The answer to the question regarding whether you need to go home to the Philippines while the annulment is being processed. Well, firstly, you can be abroad if you want to while the annulment is filed. But when the hearing starts, or if there's any need for you to be there in court, then you need to be there, period, because you're the one filing. Or it can be your ex-husband who can do it. You know, he can be the one to file the annulment for you guys, and then you just don't need to attend any court hearings, and he'll be the one to take care of everything if he has the money. If in case you do go home to do the annulment process, you can go back to the country where you want to be in, if being married to that your ex-husband is not the basis for you being in that country. So I'll give you an example. I am in Australia right now, and the reason I was able to come here is because my parents sponsored me. You know, thank God for them. So we had a few roadblocks because technically I was over 18 years old and I was still married back then, although we were not living together. He was already living with someone else. It took a while for the visa to be granted, but you know, I haven't really entered Australia at that point. It's just that we wanted to make sure that when I enter Australia, it's going to be permanent. And the only thing that was hindering us at that point was my marriage. So if I was in another situation and I was filing for an independent visa where no one else will be coming with me aside from my son, then you know, we won't have any issues. But because I didn't have enough points to apply for an independent skilled visa, then my parents had to sponsor me, and the marriage was the roadblock. So the answer, if you can go back to or you know, if you can go back abroad, then yes, you can go back abroad if the marriage is not hindering you to be in that country. Hopefully that answered your question. So that's a really good question, Ate Dexy. So thanks so much. The last question is from Mr. Jonathan Reeves. He said that he sent so many emails to the email address I put in on the description box on my first video. Unfortunately, I did do a typo. I did a boo-boo. So I had to retype the email address. It was misspelled. So the correct email address is, I think it's Abkina. I'm gonna put in the details section below. So again, like, thanks Mr. Jonathan Reeves for pointing that out. And so I've already corrected it. And if you need more information to contact the lawyer I've used before, just message me and I'll give you all the details. So thank you so much for that. Hopefully this video has been very educational and very informational to everyone. So, you know, make sure that you come back next week for the next video. I'm excited to be continuing this video series with you guys, and hope to see you guys again next week. So, ciao.